Hi everyone, Joe here and welcome back to another video. It's been actually not too long since the last one. We've been kept pretty much on track, but we're continuing the series where I'm reviewing my cancer journey and having a look back over the last 6 years. And one of the reasons why I really want to do this as a series is because you never get to benefit from your own hindsight. So hopefully this will mean that you'll be able to benefit from mine. At least me looking back, having a think back about how I was feeling at the time, correcting information that I might have given as well, because I know there's certain times where I thought I was right about stuff and I wasn't necessarily right, or I hadn't lived the experience yet, so I didn't necessarily know for certain. And yeah, we're going to be catching up with Joe, who thinks at this point in time treatment is working, or it was working at that point in time. This is almost 2 and a bit months after the radioactive iodine therapy, and we have just basically sat around being radioactive and continued life. So during that time I'd gone back to the gym, I'd carried on at work and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, this is me talking about it, I guess, and we will have a little listen. Again, I'm doing some back-to-back recordings, so again, if I'm wearing the same t-shirt, don't be surprised. It's I don't only have one t-shirt, it's just that I've recorded 3 videos back to back. I do that because it's easier, because that way I've got energy for me to do it. Makes sense. Also, if you enjoy the series, or if you're new to the channel, please do think about liking and subscribing as well. I'm saying this now because I have no idea if past Joe says it either. He might not, but I definitely have now. Also, I'm going to try and make sure that audio levels are a little bit better than last time. I've been correcting them as we go, so it's a little bit difficult because this one, I can see that I'm wearing a lav mic, so I don't know when I got that, but I did, so whatever. Let's have a listen, shall we?
Hi guys, Joe here. It's been quite a while since I've done one of these.
I love it, I say that. It's been quite a while since I've done one of these. It was. The last one was was a couple of months beforehand.
Can't think how long it has been. Actually.
No one needs to know this. No one. I don't need to be checking stuff like this. These days, I prepare.
How long has it been? So the last time I did one of these, let's have a look. I am sorry about how long it's taken me to do updates and stuff like that. I've had cancer, so I've kind of been taking my time, I guess. So the last one I did was when I had my hair cut after having long hair.
Oh yeah. So between this video and the last one that we looked at, I had my head shaved. Basically, I got rid of all of my hair, and this is one of the reasons I think why my forehead is considerably less spotty. So hopefully this could be the last time that I ever talk about having a spotty forehead.
And that, don't do it, Clive, don't do it, was quite a while ago. There it is. Cheers, buddy. It's alright, it won't take me that long. A year ago.
Oh my god, what? A year? It took me a year. Oh my goodness. Good job, good to see him consistent.
So a year ago. But basically what's prompted me to do this now is because I had just come back from the hospital after having an appointment with my oncologist. And for one of the first times ever, I have some good news. And the treatment is working.
It was the last time. It was the last time I had good news. The one and only time during my entire cancer journey was me getting good news 4.5 years ago. Fuck.
Working, which is fantastic. So what they do is they work it out on a blood marker and they track it so they know how much cancer
Thyroglobulin.
you've got left in your body, and they take initial readings when you first start and then when you finish, and after each treatment, but before each treatment they do a blood marker test and all this kind of stuff. And I've finally been told how much is left, and my marker started off as 383. I don't know what marker it is, and I don't know how that really works or translates into real numbers, but it is now down to 53.
So here's the thing. Now, this is again the benefit of hindsight, and me knowing what I know now, is that 383 that we were talking about is my thyroglobulin level. That is still very high at 383. My last blood test that I had done, the result came out about 4,500 as thyroglobulin, and the one before that was 6,000, almost 7,000. So you can see the big difference here, and also this is there's a difference between stimulated and unstimulated, and I didn't realise that the blood test that they were basing it on was the bloods that I had taken the morning of my radioactive iodine. So the radioactive iodine that I had, that they do a blood test beforehand, and this is something I didn't mention during that video either, is they come along and they take bloods, and you've had these 2 injections of something called Thyroid, or thyroid stimulating hormone. It's an artificial thyroid stimulating hormone, and they inject you in the butt cheek, like that, and the idea is that what it does is it wakes up all the thyroid tissue in your body, and that then wants to take up iodine and start doing its thing. Then they give you the radioactive iodine, and that's the only iodine that you will have had for 2 weeks before, at least 2 weeks beforehand, because you've been on a low iodine diet. So all the radioactive iodine gets taken up, gets absorbed into the cancer cells. The cancer cells then, when they try and divide, die, and they fail because the radioactive iodine in there has decayed in the process of it pushing out and shredding some other cells in the way through the gamma radiation, but it's mainly alpha and beta radiation that are inside your body. So yeah, all of that happens, and then this blood count that I had done here was non-stimulated. The 53 was non-stimulated, which is again important to bear in mind. So that level may not necessarily give us a true reflection of what's going on. All the other times I've mentioned thyroglobulin during my time on the channel, unless it has been in conjunction with radioactive iodine, means that it's been unstimulated. So all those 2 ones that I just spoken out there, the 4,500 and the 6,000, they are unstimulated. Yeah, so that should make sense.
So that sounds like a huge reduction. It's a 1/7 of what it was, which sounds good to me. I don't really know what that means in the grand scheme of things. I did ask how it works on a percentage. Can you plot it on a graph? Apparently you can't. It doesn't really work that way. I asked if it was exponential, so I could go have that straight line thing, but no, that isn't how it works. So the treatments will continue. A bit of an update. I have had 2 treatments in between my last kind of vlog video update thing that I did, I guess.
Yeah, I really found the first one so boring to do, and I don't think it was particularly interesting. I didn't feel like doing them again whilst I was in there. It just didn't seem to make sense because it was the exact same thing 2 more times.
And it's going okay. It's been tough, I won't lie. I've been struggling with the mental side of things. I do have depression because of the cancer and probably the stress related to it, but I'm learning to deal with it on my own. I was on antidepressants, I've come off of them, and that's very much my choice. The doctors said, when you feel ready to come off of them, come off of them. But that was after they'd already taken me off of them, and then they put me back on them, and then I chose to just come off of them altogether, and I've made a decision. And the decision is that I handle this on my own.
That may or may not have been the right thing to do. I don't know. Mental health is a very, very tricky thing, and you may often feel like there's a stigma attached to the word depression. Now, looking back, was it depression? Probably not. It's probably more anxiety. Was I necessarily just sat there and depressed about having cancer? Oh, I got cancer, it's rubbish. Those might have been the words that came out, but the feeling attached to it, looking back at it, is probably more anxiety, which I am dealing with now. I'm not so depressed about the idea of having cancer or the fact it's killing me. I think it's the fact that it's there's unknown stuff to come and what happens next. It's that more of a frantic of well, then what's going to happen after that, as opposed to more of this. Oh, I'm really depressed. But I didn't get on well with the drug they put me on, the citalopram. It was absolutely horrible. It basically, I'm probably mentioning it during this video, is that it cut off the top of my emotions and the bottom of my emotions. So it left me with this bit in the middle, which was meh. So all the stuff that used to make me happy and really jolly were gone, but the stuff that made me miserable was also gone. So I was just left with this bit in the middle that was rubbish, really.
The reason being, I don't want to have to rely on tablets for me to get up every single morning and get on with life. I want my passion for life and my drive for life to do that for me. And that can be as simple as the waking up and, I don't know, shooting some spaceships on my computer, or going into work and having some social interaction with people I know and have seen me go through everything, because I need something else. I've started going back to the gym as well. I managed 3 gym sessions last week. This week I'm on a 0, and that's because I've been having some other stuff going on. Because around the cancer, there's normal illness as well, so normal being sick, which is an unusual one because you kind of feel like you can't be sick because you've got cancer.
Yeah. There are some people that said to me, whilst I had cancer, I don't know if I still do, but whilst I was working and having cancer, that, oh, you're ill quite a lot. Well, 1, I've got cancer all the fucking time, numbnuts. 2, I get ill as much as everyone else, all the normal stuff. So at this point, like, I'm not immunocompromised. I'm not on any treatment that affects my immunity. And just having no thyroid doesn't affect your immunity either. Obviously, there are autoimmune conditions that can affect your thyroid, but thyroid cancer and having your thyroid removed doesn't affect your immunity as such. There's no positive correlation between it, which is weird. It's a weird thing to think about, that cancer doesn't actually make you sick, really, but it in itself is a sickness. Yeah, but yeah, people say stuff like that, like, oh, you're ill quite a lot. It's like, no, I've just got cancer, and it's probably the anxiety manifesting itself in me unable to express myself and get those things out. So yeah,
which is totally bizarre, but yeah, that's the thing, and that's how I kind of feel a lot of the time. But I have had some fantastic support from family and friends throughout the whole thing. I've had people offer to help me out with transport to and from hospital appointments. My dad's been a hero. He has been with me for every single appointment. We sat outside because he's driven me there, so he hasn't really had much of a choice. But
the one time I brought him into an appointment was the time when they told me that it was anaplastic and it was terminal, and treatment wasn't working anymore. That was rough. But I continue to say that the man has been an absolute legend and has continued. Where I've transferred to the Royal Marsden and care there, he has been coming with me to appointments. In particular, since I started having to take heavy-duty pain relief, some morphine, just because going up to London is in itself quite tiring, dealing with the transport alone, and plus the large number of people that are there. I've had some funny moments on the train where I thought I'm well, and I could have made it through, really, without my dad there to basically pick me back up again, dust me off, and let's carry on going. So, big shout out to my dad.
He's been really, really good with stuff like that, and obviously my wife Kim has been a legend, mainly by not showing how bothered she is by the whole thing, which you can't undervalue, and obviously if she watches this, then that's on her. And I've noticed. Thank you. It's appreciated.
Now, what I mean here is not that it's not bothering her, and it's more of the aiming to try and carry on with normal life, or normal life being the target, and really her encouraging that normal life. It's not that she's pretending not to be bothered and you've got to pretend to be strong. It's more of the, well, Joe's having a rough time. We know that this will eventually be over, thinking at this point that it was curable. And the numbers say it should be. At this point, the numbers really indicate it should be. So we're thinking about what comes after, and what comes after cancer. So that's the real focus. So it's the encouraging to go to the gym, encouraging to go out for walks, go out for something to eat, all of the encouraging normal stuff to happen at that point. And that's what I mean, rather than the pretending it's not happening, because she's very aware and she knows exactly what's going on, and her head is not buried in the sand.
One thing that I really miss is exercise and the drive for the exercise. And yeah, I went to the gym 3 times last week. Unfortunately, this week I've not been feeling myself, I've not been feeling particularly great, which is a shame. But I do want to get back into it and keep working out. I've put on 10 kilos over the last year and a half since diagnosis, and that is mainly through stress eating, number 1. Number 2, I don't have a thyroid anymore, so my metabolism isn't my own, and I do rely on taking thyroxine. I'm on 225 micrograms a day, which is actually quite a lot, and
I'm now down to 175, which is because I've lost so much weight. I don't need as much, although I still have a large amount of thyroid tissue. So they work on how much thyroid stimulating hormone you have in your blood to know how much thyroxine you need. So where I am at the moment, I'm basically zeroed. I have got less than 0.2, less than 0.02, I think it is, TSH in my blood, which is a very, very low number, which means that you are fully suppressed. Your body is not calling out for more thyroid hormones to be in your bloodstream. It knows that you have enough.
Again, also weight gain can be caused by antidepressants, which I'm no longer on, so it messes with water retention and appetite as well. I mean, I've been stress eating like an absolute animal, and it has to stop, and it kind of has stopped this last week or so. Myself and Kim have decided that it's time to eat healthily again, and we've been eating lots of fresh vegetables and keeping very, very kind of lean on what we've been having with regards to food. And yeah, it'll take some time, some getting used to.
I would love to have those 10 kilos back now.
And we do have a holiday due as well, which is something to really look forward to, so that's good. As for treatment and what's coming forward, I'm going to have another treatment around kind of end of May, beginning of June. So our holidays in May, my birthday's in June, and so's Kim's. So we've asked them to avoid that kind of section, but they will do what they can depending on what's available. If not, they'll do it after our birthdays, and I would really rather it was done beforehand, because then I feel like I've taken another step forward to recovery and getting over it, being done with it, having cancer out of my life, which interesting conversations to be had about that going forward, because they may hit a point where the radioactive iodine just stops working.
Which it did. Which it did after that treatment I'm talking about. So that future treatment, that one around the May, June time, was the time it stopped working. Was it like the final time it worked? And between this video and going forward, and when that treatment was, that's when a huge lump came up in here. Ended up being about 5 centimeters across in the main chunk, and then snaking up my neck. So, and that's when we thought it was anaplastic, but it turned out to be poorly differentiated thyroid cancer instead.
But after my next treatment, I'm going to be having a full body scan, so CT scan head to toe, and that will be telling me what's left, and tell the oncologist what's left. And, well, yeah. But I guess the most important thing is we're winning. That's the important thing. One step forward, and I needed that today. I really did need that. So, good news. Good news all round, really. As for everything else in my life, what's going on, the mental health kind of stuff, I am going to thrash it out through exercise. That's my plan. And doing things I enjoy, seeing friends, seeing family. So if you're friend and family and you want to meet up sometime soon, let me know. Sundays and Thursdays, I'll make time for anyone. The rest of the time, I'm unfortunately still working. So, and that is the thing. I've been working through the whole thing, and I know that not everyone does that. I would go insane if I didn't. And the same way
I don't work now, and I've got to admit I didn't go insane, and I haven't gone insane. And for a while, going to work was okay. But I will say that the manager that I had was shit, and I don't mind saying that now, looking back at it. They were really bad about it. If they end up watching this video, I just want you to know you were really bad about it. You were inconsiderate. Which is a really harsh thing to say. And I know I've got friends on my Facebook who I share these videos with, and I used to work with them, and I know that she doesn't work there anymore as well. You know who she is. It's one of those things where, actually looking back at it, wasn't very forgiving, and could have been, and I should have dealt with HR more than I did with my line manager. But HR was quite hands-off, and they changed towards the end of my employment to become a lot more hands-on and supportive and encouraging. The only thing was is this was during COVID, pretty much. It's like towards the start of COVID and stuff like that, where things were really, because things were really rough around about then, and they switched over the manager of HR because she left after being absolutely freaking useless. And you never know what information's come from her and trickled down. And she was awful. She was really bad. She was she should have been fired a long time before she was. She left. Sorry, she left, I think. Anyway, not mentioning the company, not mentioning any of that. Those that know. And also, you know for sure, probably more than I do, because I stopped caring, because I had far more important things going on. But yeah, the going insane from not working thing, you know what? No, work isn't that important at all. I know that now. Excuse me. Quality of life, that's important.
I've got my gaming YouTube channel that I've been working on, and that is very much my creative outlet that I've been using. And also, with it being a creative outlet, I get social interaction. It's so needed, because some days you don't feel like getting up or leaving the house, and you know, you can put some headphones on and talk to people who just want to play some games. And there's no pressure, there's none of that, them looking at you. And actually, you know what? I put this on myself. I think people look at me and see the cancer. Bet they don't. But I put that on it. Or they feel sorry. I look tired, I look worn out, and they think that's because of the cancer. No, I just didn't sleep last night because my cat's an arsehole. You know?
Yeah, Clive was an arsehole, a total arsehole, but I loved him. Loved him to the last breath.
That's normally what it is. So, but yeah, I'm going to call time for this kind of vlog thing update for everyone here. It's a miserable rainy day outside. It's a great day to play some computer games, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to chill out and relax, and I'll keep everyone updated as time goes, I guess.
Probably
so,
don't.
as usual, I'm going to say, if you're interested in this type of thing and you'd like to know how I'm doing, or you're suffering a similar condition, then please do make sure you like and subscribe, raise some awareness. I will be doing a 24-hour charity live stream for raising funds for the British Thyroid Foundation, and that's going to be coming in May during my next treatment. So when I'm off and I'm ready to...
I did that. We did that. That happened, and we raised £3,500. If I remember correctly, that was my first one. That was my first 24-hour stream that I did, and it was nuts. It was absolutely crazy. It seemed like the best time to do it because I couldn't sleep in the bed, so why not be wide awake, play computer games for 24 hours? And looking back, I mean, was that the right thing to do? Who fucking knows? But it was the start of my fundraising, start of the fundraising that led to the inception of the Joe Plater Research Award, which I'm still really proud of, where they gave away £20,000 as a research grant into thyroid cancer and the treatment of thyroid cancer. So, brilliant stuff.
Right, and I can't do anything. You know what? I can sit down and I can play some games and I can raise some money for charity and do a good thing. So that's coming soon. I'll probably do an update on that and talk about it. But there you go. So, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. YouTube personality stuff, and I'm not going to salute as I sign off because everyone does that, and also Commander Plater does that, my YouTube gaming channel. So I'll catch you guys later.
Oh god, and then it's straight into an ad, which, you know, makes sense. I was surprised there's no ads, mid-roll ads on that one. It's quite a short video, but yeah, looking back at that, I mean, we thought we were winning, we thought things were working, and the trajectory was up. We're really, really positive about it, and we're thinking, yeah, this is great, this is fantastic, this is what's happening is we're gonna win. Like, this time next year it will be over, it'll be done. Wicked. Have more radioactive iodine, it works, it's smashing, it's gonna be gone like that. And obviously things don't work out that way, and it was very much this is like the lull before the storm. Very much. Thinking back, like only 4 months after that was when I went in and I had the neck dissection done, and my life changed forever. It changed everything. So interesting to think about, interesting to look back on, and interesting to think about how I thought one thing was happening, but in reality the cancer was like gathering its forces to come out swinging, and I wasn't ready for it. None of us were, and we had no way of knowing. We should have done the CT scan earlier. I think that, especially if you've had 3 radioactive iodine treatments, and you're still showing thyroglobulin, you kind of need to know where the cancer is. And the thing in my neck could have been spotted when it was tiny and removed when it was tiny, had we done a CT scan. And we probably should have done. I think that was a lapse in judgment, maybe, or protocol, or if it isn't in the protocol to have scans more often, it bloody well should be, because that way things can get caught earlier. And this is again the benefit of hindsight. So if you're going through something you don't feel right, and maybe you're in the same situation I was then now's the time for you to be like, push your oncologist for maybe a CT scan. I think they do them now. I mean, it was 6 years ago. It's a long time. 6 years ago when it first started, and this is like 2.5 years into the journey. I fucking know. Things are weird. Things change. It's and they change fast as well, which I think is interesting. There's an ancient Chinese curse: may you live in interesting times. And I feel like my times have been interesting enough. I'd like simple now, please. I would like some simple, very simple. But it has not been. But right, I'm going to call time for the video there. I'm going to be ranting on for 26 minutes. And YouTube loves these longer format videos. I don't know if you who are watching do. Let me know in the comments. If you enjoy the longer format, then let me know. Please do. I would be interested to hear that. And especially considering we've got some more journey to review. Now that we're on that turn where things start to go wrong, it's probably quite harrowing to watch, I imagine. Give me lots of pain. Because there, I look good. I look happy, I look jolly. I was like, yeah, have a great time. Back in the gym. Well, I'd be back in the gym right now. Can't. So, it's what it is. But right, and so thanks for watching. You guys know what to do. If you're here now and you're at the end of it, make sure that you like, subscribe, and leave the magic phrase in there, which it's gonna be May. That's what I want you to put, as in yeah, like the like the song. It's gonna be May, because in that video it was April and I was recording it talking about something that would be happening in May. So why not? It's gonna be May. Get it in there. Get in the comment section, and we will. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. But thanks again. Thanks for watching.